Welcome back, guys. Today I'll be showing you how to make 500k every day in EAFC. So if you're new around here and you want a team like mine, or even better, you are in the right place. Just make sure to subscribe while you're here, and of course, if you want some coins in a bit of a quicker way, well, if you guys are fed up of coming against nicks like me and foot champs who use loans and OP cards from day one,
I'm getting really sick of you! Get out now!
Then you need to head over to mitchcactus.com, where not only can you buy the cheapest and most reliable FIFA coins on the EA market, you'll find over 10,000 reviews from people who have used the services and enjoyed them in the past. So make sure to head over to mitchcactus.com and use code RECALL for 5% off. And remember, guys, if you are going to buy coins, to use my code, you will get yourself a discount on those coins. And of course, Christmas is coming up. We've got Team of the Year on the way, so it's a good time to do it. Now, if you head over to the Icon SBCs, this is how you're going to make your laziest coins in the AFC. I always like to talk about this in videos because it's just so easy. All you have to do is pop in some bronze rares and silver rares. Of course, a lot of us have a ton of these untradeable in our cards anyway, and by cycling them into SBCs, you get yourself, I think there's 19 packs available at the minute, so it's 9 icons, so 18 packs, sorry, which means you've got a total of 18 packs worth of silvers and commons, which are all going to give you a decent value because of things like evolutions and the league SBCs. So a really easy set of coins there. And of course, if you're not doing marquee matchups and things like that, you're of course got to do them first and then come back to the video. Now, of course, remember, guys, if you are going to buy coins, to use my code, it's going to get you a discount off there. And of course, we've got Team of the Year coming up. It's the best time to do it. Now, if you head over to SBCs, you've got some really easy free coins that you can do with pretty much doing nothing. Essentially, there are 8 icon SBCs out at the minute, I think, or 9, which means there are 18 SBC packs you can get essentially for free. All you've got to do is pop in 11 bronze rares and 11 silver rares. Now, right now, if you go over to upgrades, you can get these for free because you've got premium silver, premium bronze, and then daily gold upgrades. Essentially, you can get those packs for free. They become tradable by putting them in the icons, obviously, and what you get out of them is, of course, your silver rares, which are going for loads because of evos, and then, of course, commons. Once again, they'll be boosted because of evos or because of the league SBCs. So some really easy coins right now. Now, first of all, we're going to be looking at the radioactive players because there are a lot of filters that have come with them, and there's a ton of coins to be made. Now, there are a few ways to break down the Premier League players as part of this. An easy one you can do to get yourselves a quite similar price is we've got Perisic at 194, and then we've of course got Gvardiol at 160. So for Croatia, I believe is their nation. Let's just have a look. Brilliant. You've got Croatia at Prem, and you've got the two of them. So that's an easy filter there. We can pop this to 160,000 coins. We're just above, also just under where Perisic is sitting, but not millions of miles away, which means there's definitely still a good chance of a snipe. And Gvardiol, of course, on this one, EA tax is going to be 8k. You just need to pick him up at 140k for you to be looking at a decent profit, which I don't think is bad at all. I think that's quite a nice filter because you've got the availability of both of them. It gives you a decent, big profit available on the likes of Perisic, and then of course if you get Gvardiol, it's not as big of a profit, but you've still got a nice little profit in there. You could pop this down to 130 and you'll be making a decent bit more. And of course you could do this as a bidding filter, once again popping the max at 140 and just bid along. But what we can do is, of course, pop it down to Radioactive, Defender, and Premier League. And this one's going to bring us a little bit lower with the likes of Zinchenko. I think he's coming in at actually around 130k. So not too much lower. And of course, this one we can also find Gvardiol on it. It lowers the value a little bit. I think this one we'd be looking at, let's have a look. I think Zinchenko basically goes for 140, so we'd go that sort of 10k below. So 150 is his standard sell price. EA tax on that would be 7.5. So there we'd make 2.5, but it's just not enough. So we probably want to go to about 133. It means we'll be making around a 10k profit, which is pretty much exactly what we want. So this one, once again, not far off the other filter. If you aren't having much luck with this, you can move on to the other one and vice versa. So Gvardiol being in both, if Gvardiol was maybe a little bit of a dip or is harder to snipe at a time, you can use the filter, which you can decide whether Zinchenko or Perisic are easier to snipe, and then snipe with that filter and hope Gvardiol comes in as well. Now, another interesting one we can do with the same type of card is Striker. We're going to go over to Radioactive again, and we're going to go for a minimum of 100k. I think I'd need to check who we need to get out of this one. I think we just want Kerr and a Shala. So 390k is kind of the price for her right now. Kerr's around the 500 mark. So realistically, if we're going to be making a big profit on this, we probably want to get it for 390 EA tax will be about 20k. So 350 is probably a reasonable amount for this one. Bear in mind, you've got Sam Kerr and Asala on this one, both of which are very, very big cards right now, and very, very probably easy to snipe on this filter. I think you can get Asala quite easily on this. I think maybe you're going to have a little bit more of a struggle on the side of getting Sam Kerr, but both of these are going to be brilliant cards in game, so it's definitely worth a snipe out, maybe even giving him a game and getting those sold on so you can make your profit. Now, what I'm going to be having a look at next, looking at this list, it's pretty simple. There isn't a whole lot more to do on this specific filter in terms of this quality, but there is a very obvious filter for those of you who have the coins looking over at the Saudi League. If we head down to there, obviously it is simple to just go Radioactive and Saudi League. You can see who it's going to be. Benzema and Kante are the ones we're to be looking at. You can actually just do a regular one and look at Talisca and of course Kessie, so that would be on the lower end. Obviously, if we did this one first of all, we'll do Kessie as I think 60k, so we'd go maybe around the 60 mark. So here he's sitting at 60. EA tax on that's going to be 3k, so if we go here, we actually want to go probably about 64 or 54, so 3k profit, 3k tax. We could even go for there, and that's 1k. We could go there, it's 2k profit. So you've got a couple options there. You're realistically only going to get Kessie and maybe on a very lucky opportunity get Talisca. I think Talisca is going to be a little bit harder to get because obviously he's a little bit of a chunk above. But if we head over to the likes of Le France, we can see Benzema and Kante on the same filter, which is, I mean, they're very close in value. They're not miles off of one another. They're pretty much there or thereabouts. So if we pop this to, I think 900k, we should be looking at a few Kantes there. So 890 EA tax on that is essentially going to be about 50k. So we probably want to go to about 830. This one is going to be a little bit harder to get a snipe on, but if you can do it, it's absolutely going to make you a ton of coins. So it's up to yourselves if you want to do this one. It's going to be a little bit harder. It might be one that you're a little bit more careful with, but it's definitely going to be a very, very good filter. Now, another one we can go over to using some past promos, which I found earlier on today, is Trailblazers Defender, minimum, I think 100k, and this should leave us with Koundé and Marquinhos. You've also got the likes of Robertson, but we need to check. Okay, Ruben Diaz there as well. So we want to get rid of those two. But an easier one to do, maybe bearing that in mind, is actually to just go ahead and go for the defenders from La Liga Santander and go for Barcelona, because we've got these two bad boys. So I think both of these aren't millions of miles away from each other in price once again. I think you've got 200k on Cancelo there, about 4 on Koundé. I think his card's aged pretty well, so it's a nice little filter there. You can definitely get some big profit. I think the other thing you can do with Trailblazers is head over to Portugal, obviously with Ronaldo being there and actually not being miles away. He's 350 now, which is insane. But the other insane thing is that you haven't subscribed already, so make sure to do that, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.